Hey guys, I found the newest installment of Plants vs. Zombies. Oh no. For people who don't know, Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 is a third-person video game based upon the original series, which was a tower defense game where you could place plants to defend your house from the horde of zombies. In this game, however, you can play as both zombies and plants to fight against each other in an online attack-defend control point style game, where one team is defending the control points and the other team is trying to capture it. Also, there can only be one control point active at a time. As zombies and plants, you have 7 different classes to choose from with 3 different abilities they can use. This video will focus on the Turf War game mode, since the online is the main part of the game, and no one plays any other game modes in Garden Warfare 2 for some reason. The video will also be about why the game online and other parts of the game are terrible and boring. This video will be categorized into 3 topics to make the gameplay feel awful. The first is can't see what I'm shooting, which breaks up into mapping, microtransactions and how you need them, which breaks up into how it messes up balancing for the whole game. Finally, no damage fall off and how unfun it is. Video games in the past have suffered from bad graphics and the player not being able to identify what is happening because of those bad graphics. But now in modern day, there are no more of those graphical limitations. However, history has repeated itself by developers making their game have such good graphics you can't distinguish what is what because of those bad graphics. Or the status effects making your whole screen one color, blinding you from what else is going on behind the color. This is what happened to PvZ Garden Warfare 2. And when this happens, you think to yourself, if only this purple storm would stop killing me, maybe I could play this stupid game. The developers know about this because they put in the game a player icon above everyone's head so you can see where every player is if you're looking in their direction. This is not only a bad solution because you can't flank the enemy without being caught, but also the player icon goes away after you get close to the player, making for distinguishing teammates from enemies almost impossible in close range combat. I see what the developers were trying to do to make the player icons so you can see where you are being shot from, but it doesn't help at all. Because of these graphics, the players blend right into the background so well you can just not see them when looking and die because you don't know where to shoot back or dodge from in close range. I mean, just look at this. How am I supposed to tell what is an enemy in this? You do know the direction of where the player is with the red line around your crosshair, but you don't know exactly where the player is because of the graphics. It's that bad. It also doesn't help with all these hats making player colors disappear. Do we really need a
flashing disco chomper skin?
Which is basically a flashbang whoever you're fighting, making the combat more impossible to see what you're aiming at with all these hats making it hard to see. To see how they could have fixed this graphics issue, let's look at another game that does this perfectly. Plants vs. Zombies 1 has huge outlines on their plants and zombies that it is hard not to see them. Not only that, but the day stages are so bright that the zombies' dark colors pop them out from the background, making them even better to see. Even with something like the night stages, the plants and zombies keep their bright colors, and not shading them dark with any of the background makes them pop in any of the backgrounds. Something like character inking as an option could have made worlds of difference for Garden Warfare 2, like it did in Plants vs. Zombies 1. A lot of maps in this game do not help this issue at all. These maps feel like they just wanted to see how far they could push the graphics engine, or just because they wanted to have a lens flare instead of a playable map. Like really, look at this map Dinoland. Do we really need those dinos right in front of the control point, blocking the view of any player that could be shooting at the control point? The lighting on this map is just awful. Again, I can't see what I'm shooting. First you have to go underground, your face is right in the lava, you know what that means, more awful lighting effects. Then when you get out of the lava area, the light is shining off everything. The dinos, the trees, the rocks, and the viewpoint to the control point is all the way blocked by trees, bones, and the dinos. Which means when you leave the lava area, you are shot down as soon as you get out and you don't even know what hit you. Because of this stupid red bar around your crosshair that is so tiny and blends into the background with all the other effects. And this red bar is trying to signify where you've been shot from. How is that supposed to help? Of course there are a few maps that are okay to play on, like Zombopolis, but then there are other maps like Zomburbia, where the night sky is purple, which means the zombies blend right into it. Good luck shooting the sky, friend! What I'm trying to say is that a lot of these maps just feel like they were not made for good play in mind, and just wanted to place a bunch of dinosaurs around the map. Did I tell you guys how much I hate Dinoland yet?
EA Sports. It's in the game.
Next is microtransactions, and if you know anything about the EA gaming company, then you already know they love their microtransactions and getting that paper. This is how they worked it into Garden Warfare 2. You can get these sticker packets either after game or at the homeworld by the vending machine. You get coins after every game that you play, or you can just pay money and get a ton of coins. With those coins, you can buy a sticker packet that has a different version of your character. For example, Pea Shooter can become Fire Pea Shooter or Electric Pea Shooter, etc. Or you can get hats or minions to fight for you, but they mostly want you to focus on different versions of characters. I don't mind them using the either plain or pain strategy to get coins, because it's kind of fast to get coins by playing, so it's kind of the same. The problem is, most of the different versions of characters are just straight upgrades from the original version. Fire Pea Shooter can do the same things as Pea Shooter, but his peas leave a burning effect, dealing damage after a hit. You know what that means if the person gets hit by a burning effect. That's right, more blinding effects, so you can't tell where the Fire Pea Shooter is that shot you. Look at how this is unbalanced. The Fire Pea Shooter does 10 less damage than the normal Pea Shooter per shot, but the burn damage does 5 damage every second 4 times, so it does 10 more damage than the normal Pea Shooter over 4 seconds. If you add up the blindness of the fire effect for the person you shot at, it's a straight upgrade, which makes new players feel like they have to buy these upgrades for money since they can't win games. Not only is this a bad way to start off your game for new players, but if you think about how the devs can balance the game, it's almost impossible, since with unlocks there are over 100 playable characters in this game. Look at another game with over 100 characters, League of Legends. That game is always getting broken, with new champions becoming overpowered, even with constant update fixes. It's so hard to keep up with balancing and to know what's overpowered and what needs to be fixed. This is for a 5 versus 5 game, by the way. Now try and imagine how to balance a game with a 12 versus 12 game where all these characters can fight at once, and you can see how unbalanced the game quickly becomes. To explain what damage falloff is, it's basically the process of the more distance your attack travels, the less damage you do. Turf War games come down to who can snipe a speck of a player across the map the most and get the pop sound effect. Answer me this, if you could walk into a battle and get a few kills and possibly die, why would you want to? There's nothing stopping you from doing the same amount of damage from a farther away position. That way you don't die because you are not in a place where enemies are fighting, so there's no chance of you dying. Even then, the only problem with this is aim, but you could say the same thing about being closer up. The aim is a problem to any moving target. You have to aim no matter what distance you are at. This is counteractive for the Turf War game mode, where defenders have an unfair advantage because they don't have to walk up to capture the control point, while being sniped all the walk there. These sniping matches are unsatisfying for both people of the battle. If I'm getting sniped by a Pea Shooter as I'm walking to defend our control point, and I can't see where the Pea Shooter is before I get killed because of how the graphics were made, then what did I do wrong in that position? I couldn't be out of position because the Pea Shooter can snipe you from anywhere he can see you. So I'm being punished by the game for walking. How is that enjoyable? Now let's see it from the point of view of the Pea Shooter. As I get up on a rooftop, I have to wait for an enemy to be in my vision. Then I have to snipe this unaware player to death who doesn't even have time to react before I kill him, making me feel like I was undeserving of that kill for using cheap tactics to get the kill. Again, what I'm trying to say is that no damage falloff encourages sniper matches, which leads to camping, and it's all around unfun for both parties. I think the game is not bad by any means. The graphics and controls are really good, and there was a lot of thought put into the game. Also, the quests are really fun and creative. However, the lack of visibility of enemy players other than a red line and a head to tell me where they are, as well as the pay-to-win mentality of EA and the snipe matches that go on, make the game a disappointment to what a Plants vs. Zombies shooter could have been. Hey, thanks for watching.